glassing from behind, and you don't want any resin seeping through onto your parts. So the cheap and easy solution is to just tape, and then you just pull it off when you're done.
This was the very first part that we made, which was the quarter panels. If you take a look, you can see how the quarter panel itself right here was all one flat sheet by itself. And then what we did was we went over here and then we created the top portion, and you can see where that was glassed in right here. So we made this extension, and then we made a cut, made another extension here, and then again same thing here, flanged it. This was glassed in place. So everything was glassed separately, including the arch that we made, and now we're making the vent. A project like this takes a lot of time and a lot of patience, just because everything has to be made one step at a time. The way with fiberglass, depending on how you catalyze it, it can either kick off really fast, but usually with cold weather it does take time.
That you sand wherever you're going to glass. You want to make sure that you have a good surface, that your fiberglass that you're laying on top will adhere to whatever panel or whatever part you're working on. So we're going to glass this where the glass is going to touch, our cardboard is waxed, and we're also going to sand the vent and the actual part itself, so our fiberglass isn't lifting. We want to make sure we have a good bond. And that goes for painting, refiller, sand your surfaces. Sand your surfaces. Sand your surfaces. Sand your surfaces. So we use acetone as a cleaning agent for after we do our layups. You clean the roller, you clean your scissors, your brushes, whatever you used during your layups. And once you're done using the bucket, it's empty, you could still use it as a resin bucket to hold it while you're doing your glass layups. And having a handle is really, really handy. Money saving tip that we have is go to your local nail supply store. They have these gallons for $15 versus $30 at Home Depot. They'll have a purpose for it. You still can use it, makes things easier, saving money. It's a win-win all around. So for my layup, I'm going to have my resin bucket. I have my roller to roll any air bubbles out that maybe in the glass. You don't want that. Scissors to make cuts. There might be a glass that hangs out, hangs over. You don't want that. Brush to wet out your fiberglass and dab it onto the parts. I have my glass cut out. We use 2-ounce matte. This is what matte fiberglass looks like. I like to have the clean edge touch this part where I don't want anything going into the vents, and this will blend nicely into our existing fiberglass. Nothing wrong with using something like this that's cut. This is just personal preference. I feel that you have a little bit more control on the overhang and where it sits on your pieces.
Cool, so with all that being said now,
I think we're ready.
Sweet. Everything's all glossed in now, and we've let it cure. It's been about an hour now. It's pretty cold, so catalyzed it hot. We have a little squeeze bottle. So for this, we catalyzed everything at about 10 to 15 cc's just because we want it to kick a little quicker. And now that it's kicking, it's not fully hard yet. What we do is we come with a razor and we're able to trim a lot of this excess off, which helps with the finish work because now you're not grinding it using an air saw. You're not getting all that dust kicked up at you. So always good. Watch this. Slice it, cut it, whatever you gotta do.